Good morning, Mike Mantle.
Good morning.
And didn't I just say this
No
is one of the
time.
great things? No time. So forget the good morning. And welcome to The Essence. This is the first show, and our first show is with Mike Mantle and beer. And I looked for somebody, Mike, who I think knows beer, who was able to not be hypnotized by the last kegger they had in high school.
Definitely
Uh-huh.
not.
And that they really, and in your case in particular, really used your tastes and likes for various beers to make it almost a science.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you get involved with beer?
Just kind of like collecting them at first and getting into the bottles and kind of like baseball cards, collecting them all and trying each one and finding out what you don't and you do like. And from there, I mean, the beer world has pushed me along because they keep coming out with different flavors and so on.
That's right, yeah.
It's pretty crazy out there. Like the two that you have brought in, like the St. Peter's, they've been around for a long time with the cigar and beer, gluten, and the same thing with the organic chocolate stout. This one here, these guys have been around for a really long time, and they've been doing it for a really long time. It's just very tasty.
Yeah.
Especially the chocolate. That chocolate is pretty good.
Are most of the beers that we have here today, are they domestic or foreign?
Well, the two that we just showed were foreign, and then majority of the ones that I brought are all West Coast.
West Coast beer,
Yep. So anything from San Diego all the way up to Eugene, Portland, stuff like that.
So what are we looking at over the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you think it's going?
It can go anywhere. It is from the last 6-7 years. It's, I mean, just like today, I found this hard root beer.
Yes.
Oops, face at the camera. Yeah, it's 5.9%, and I've heard that it tastes just like root beer.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's going places. I mean, pretty soon. They already have ginger beer
with alcohol in it.
Mm-hmm. They have our local Rubicon here makes a beer with roses.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's whatever you can set your sights at. I'm pretty sure someone can make it happen.
So, what's behind the evolution of beer? I mean, is it still the most popular drink in America?
Oh, I think it's more. Yeah, I think it's more popular than it was then. I think the major players, Anheuser and Coors and Miller Saab and stuff like that, they are on their way out unless they find something else to do. They are trying to trick the new consumers that like to drink this stuff and hide their name. And just like the one over here in Fairfield, they like to say this is so-and-so's brewery, but if you look at it, it's the same address as Anheuser.
Wow, so isn't that something? Yeah, it sounds like a little bit of trickery. It sounds like the tobacco industry and vaping.
Yeah.
So at this particular time, we have a lot of choices, and do you really think that we are going to go to extremes? I mean, we said there's going to be bacon. There's bacon beer.
Yeah, there's bacon beer already. Yeah, which is like we said, a Rausch beer. Most of the time, because of the smokiness of the meat, carries over into that.
Is this strictly an American phenomenon that we've?
So far, yes.
Yeah. Other countries are not doing like I always think of German as.
Yeah. The creator of Stone, Arrogant Bastard, and so on. He just actually is opening up a German brewery.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to start creating their beers over there because it's starting to reach over there where people are like, we want these beers. There's a couple other people that have started over there and have come over here. They're called Gypsy Brewers. There's a couple guys, two brothers, one who has Evil Twin Brewery, which is in New York, and then his other brother is here in San Francisco. And I think he's opening up another place somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah, but they're really, really good. I mean, Gypsy Brewer basically is somebody who doesn't really have a home base station to make his beer, so he brews with other brewers.
Right.
And so he makes a lot of collaborations.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So, have you ever made your own?
Yes, I've made my beer a couple times. A beer a couple times. I've never actually taken it all the way to bottling. It's because each time I've skunked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't really work. When we used to have that brewed up place, we've done that twice, and I've made my own beer all the way to bottling and stuff like that too. Which it's a different process there because you're doing it in a bigger batch.
Yes.
And then you come back and like depending on what beer you're making, because on fermentation. If you're making an IPA, you could be back in a month. If you're making a stout, you might be back in 6 to 8 weeks to help it do what it needs to do.
Does it require rotating the bottles or?
No, not really.
Okay.
No. It just sits and just waits for its time.
To be bottled.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do they still use the capping machines?
Yep, they still have it. When they used to have that over there, it's gone now. But they give you this little, click-on thing that you just pop it on.
Yeah.
I have 2 of those for home brewing, but like I said, I haven't bottled anything yet, so one day.
Yeah. Sure.
It's just me. I'm lazy.
So no, I don't think you're that. In your home, you probably collect beers.
Yeah.
Is there any advice you'd have for any listeners about how to take care of those beers before you
like
actually,
cellaring them?
Yes.
So cellaring, it all really you just have to kind of figure out what you're going to just say like this isn't something you're going to cellar. Most of the time, something you're going to cellar is going to be in the what percentage is this one? That's 7. That's definitely not going to be. I don't think we have anything that we could cellar in here. But anything above 9% is something you could cellar.
Okay.
Once it's cellared, you can lay it flat. Then that's the big thing. People like to lay them flat, or people like to keep them upright. Some of the bottles will tell you exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will tell you, like if it has a cork, like wine, to keep the cork wet.
Oh, okay.
Don't let it dry out. Or some people will say, hey, if you keep it up, it will grow mold on the top, and you'll get, you just destroyed your beer.
Yeah.
I age beers. I have a beer from 2001. Yeah, it's San Nicolas. It's a foreign beer. And basically, at the time when the beer came out, it was the highest alcohol at the time. And now the limit is just huge. Yeah.
Well, do you see, like, in wine we pair with...
they put wine barrels into beers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there's some really good ones out there. I'm not a big wine drinker, but beer has definitely, the Chardonnays and this and that. They tell you exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
with these things. Yeah,
that's fabulous.
There's a lot of fruit beers out there now. One of my favorite breweries is called Cascade. They're $30 a bottle to $20 a bottle. Yeah, and it's like wine, like I said, and you drink it slow. Try it out. Start it out cold. Let it warm up. Mm-hmm. More flavors, more berries, more whatever one you're drinking. A lot of times it's an oak barrel that they put it in. So
exactly.
The oak, I think, brings out a little bit more fruit than everything else.
You probably know a lot about the history of beer, but one thing I found fascinating was that, like the British, when they were out with their British Navy out conquering the Atlantic, they felt that they always had enough food if they had beer. What's the nutritional value? I mean, is it...
Keeps you from getting scurvy.
Yeah. Yes, and probably other things too, but like the hops, are these good for you? The yeast, is that good for you?
They say it is. There's all kinds of different yeast strains from the point of being able to... They do live yeast, they do bacteria yeast. So like Anchor Steam in San Francisco, they have basically an open bath of beer, and it collects all the San Franciscan air and stuff like that, and that allows it to, get bigger and stuff like that.
That's interesting. But San Francisco, like sourdough, can be made easily in San Francisco, but not other places.
Yeah. That's because of the air and the yeast and stuff like that. Same thing with the Anchor Steam. They're the ones that kind of started that type in doing that. Yeah.
So when you get down to your last bottle of beer, it could make you nervous, right?
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, because there goes food.
Oh, well, your normal, I go on beer trips just for
exactly
to the store, and I could stand there for about 20, 30 minutes trying to decide what to do, unless I know exactly what I want when I'm looking for something. And freshness is also a very big player in the in beer because what my favorite beer is from Knee Deep in Auburn, and it's called Simtra, and it's like 11.25%. It's a triple IPA. When that is anywhere from a week to a month, the flavor is just super intense and super fresh to me. Right now, like when I went to the store, I was going to bring one for our thing, and I saw the date was like March 16th or something like that. That's like right at for me, the expiration date for me. But people will still drink it. They don't know. A lot of people don't know better still. And it's you learn a lot. So when I'm looking out there looking for stuff, I look for born on dates, or look for the case to see what it's doing. Especially mostly on IPAs or pale ales. Right. Because they have a lot of hops, and the hops die off really fast.
So have you tried any of the gluten-free beers?
I have Omissions, which is made by who is that? Widmer. Okay. They are up there on the North Coast. They're okay. That's got to be really hard because if you like beer.
Exactly. So what are you using in place of something with gluten?
Yeah, you have to drink those ones that are gluten. Omissions. I think this one was gluten that you brought out, the St. Peter's. Yeah, gluten free.
Yep, that's gluten free.
Yeah, Sagorum. So I think Sagorum is like gum, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like molasses, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of options out there for a lot of people. I mean, even I think near beer.
Yes.
Is coming around to having flavors and catching on to the gimmick, you should say. I just saw a commercial recently that wasn't Budweiser, Coors, Miller. It was for Kona.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's two Hawaiian guys.
Wow.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see that. They don't do that. And I think everybody's starting to go after the bigger guys. There's kind of like a little war going on right now.
Sure.
Ever since Super Bowl, there was a Super Bowl commercial that was talking about that, where our beer drinkers don't like peach, pumpkin, whatever beers. We just drink beer. And then so it's funny because the week before that, they bought a company that makes those type of beers.
It is. So sometimes corporations. And, if you were going to give some advice to me about how to pair beer with food, what would I look for?
Chicken. I would do anything from a IPA, pale ale, saisons, something that has a lemon pepper. Like I said, let's see, where's that one we brought in?
We have a nice selection here of beers for people to see.
We can bust these out. So this one, Saison de Buff.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it has parsley, rosemary, sage, and thyme. That's something you would pair with chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Because those are the spices you use in chicken.
Right. You can marinate it.
Yeah.
But this.
So you could marinate chicken in this beer.
Yeah.
And then grill, barbecue, grill it.
Yeah, grill it. I don't think I've ever done anything on the oven, so I'm pretty much a griller.
Yeah, exactly.
But any of these beers, I mean, even maybe that root beer, you can marinate. I mean, beer is a natural tenderizer.
Wow. Okay. So anything else as far as when you have like roast beef, do you drink it with wine, eat it with wine, or is there a beer that goes with roast beef?
If I was to go have roast beef, I'd just grab an IPA or something.
An IPA.
Yeah.
Something lighter.
Yeah.
When you have heavy food, lighter beer.
Yeah. When I have a stout, I want to have kind of like a dessert. I kind of do it like a dessert, or a porter. You got to kind of be in the mood. Gloomy day.
Yeah. Exactly.
For me. Then there's the hard alcohol, the barley wines and stuff like that. It's another dessert beer. Even the fruit beers, I don't start out drinking those first. Um, and they have session beers now, what is basically a really fresh IPA, but the alcohol level is like 4%, 5%,
Wow.
because they were starting to jump up into the 9s and 10s, and people weren't buying them because they can't go to work or whatever.
Sure, exactly.
But these allow you to, have a lunch or something and go on your day. And I think a lot of them even call it, like, there's one out there called Workday.
Oh, wow. So you can drink and
yeah,
yes,
4%.
Yeah, oh, that's good. So percentage-wise, are we getting more alcohol in beers?
Oh, yes. There is a TV show called Brewdogs. Those guys have the record now. I want to say it's in the 54%. Yeah.
54.
Yeah, it's pretty high. What they do to get it that high is they basically freeze the beer and the alcohol comes out. I don't know if you've accidentally ever thrown a beer into the freezer and it goes.
Yeah, I've had it explode. Yeah.
There's a barrel-aged Bigfoot one that I did that with one time, which was a sin.
Oh, wow.
But I caught it right before it was ready to explode, and I let it melt back down a little bit, and I let it drip into my glass, and the concentration was just ridiculous because the alcohol is like pulling out of the beer.
Sure.
So it's more alcohol at that time. It's still considered a beer, so those guys are ridiculous. Their TV show, they're doing everything they can think about. When the city they're going to, they went to Vegas, so they had to have gold flakes in their beer. They had to have, certain this and that. They tried to make the most expensive beer in the world on that episode, and they did because they auctioned it off, so it became the most expensive beer. And then
what did they get for that?
Oh, I don't even know. It was they had Robin Leach doing the.
Oh boy, yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
Yeah. He would be a good pick for that, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he ended up maybe buying it, or no, three ladies ended up buying it. I remember that. But they made it into a special. They had hired somebody who was a specialist in bottles and wine glasses and stuff. Sure. So he made the vessel and stuff like that too. So it was pretty crazy. They make remarkable beers. I didn't bring any of their beers, but they make really good stuff.
One more question about Mexican food. Why is it that some of the Mexican beers, like Tecate and Dos Equis, taste so good with Mexican food? Do all beers taste good?
It does. They really do. Sometimes you want a Corona.
Yeah, exactly.
There's plenty of beers out there too that you can do the same thing with, like the grapefruit Skolben.
Oh yeah,
you could
Ballast
have that.
Point. Yes.
Yeah. If you're having some street tacos.
Yeah,
would be
perfect.
really good.
Oh, that's perfect.
The habanero one.
Yes.
Really good with food.
Yeah.
Every single time I've ever had the habanero, I've only had a 6-pack, but every time that I had it, eating it with food mellowed the heatness down and made whatever you're eating a lot better.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that I have learned something in a very short period of time this morning, and I really thank you for being with me here.
No, not a problem.
And we are going to now, we're going to be envious, and we're going to try a few of these, okay. And while we do, we'll just let the tape run, and if we can make any comments, that would be fabulous. Problem. Is there one that you in particular would like to try?
Well, when you going into a session where you're trying a lot of beers, you usually want to go light to dark.
Okay.
Kind of usually the flavor profiles, how they get into there, malts and stuff like that they're using. You can go the other way, but I think if you try out with a stout first or something like that, that may overpower your profile, your flavor profile, all the way into your IPAs because the hops are going to really kick you in the butt.
Are they going to?
Yeah. So
make you remember.
Yeah, we can either try the grapefruit Skolben, or we can try this is a hop hash. This is probably another one too. And actually, we should probably drink that one first.
And that's the
Saguaron beer.
Oh, Saguaron.
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's. Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yep, it's old school. Green bottles, are no good for beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Light is beer's natural enemy. So.
Oh, okay. It might make a cute lamp though when it's.
That is something I am working on myself. I bought something that's called a kinkajou.
Oh wow.
And basically, you put it around the bottle and you cut it and you can turn them into glasses.
Oh, how neat.
Or turn them into lamps if you cut it down here and have the bulb come out on this side on the 22s.
Yes, exactly. So you could actually make that into a beer glass?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Well, shall we crack that open?
Sure. Just make some. Okay. First, I'd probably smell.
Oh, yeah. What are we looking for?
So, in that, Segurum, I'm not too sure. Wheat, it says, contains no wheat or barley. That's usually part of the Puritan law, which is 4 ingredients. That's a German law.
Okay.
So, water, hops, yeast, and barley. So, this right there, no wheat or barley. So, it's
2 out of 4, eh?
Yeah, 2 out of 4. So
yeah,
we'll see. I've never actually had. I thought this was the regular St. Peter's one. So let's see.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And one of my big things is to learn cheers in every language.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, most languages, I should say. I don't know them all, but I do. I try to teach my daughter some of them every once in a while. My favorite one is the German one, which is Prost.
Prost.
Yep. So we can start out with that. That is definitely different.
Yeah, I'll say.
It's kind of champagne-y.
Yes.
Very fizzy. On a 5-star scale, I'd probably give this like a 2.4, 2.5 on that scale. Because, like I said, I'm more of a West Coast guy. I like the West Coast beers. Like I said, I do like European beers too.
Right.
But yeah, it's very fizzy.
It is, and it does have it holds. There's a tongue flavor that.
Yeah, it's on the top of your mouth.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
So, what could you eat with this?
I think you could eat the tacos with this.
With this, yeah, because it's pretty light. It's kind of light, yeah.
You could probably pair this with chicken. This is. I think this is English. Yeah, this is an English beer. So I don't know if they would maybe eat it with some brats or some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some bangers and mash, maybe. I don't know if that would go good with that. Maybe it would help marinate the meat a little bit better. I don't see this one too much around.
No, in fact, I was up in Eureka, and they said, well, if you want to try something different, try this.
Mm-hmm.
And with sorghum, it's got a little molasses in the back, but
yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, there is.
It's not a normal beer flavor.
Is any beer made with rice?
Yes. I can't remember their name, but there's a lot of them over there in Japan and stuff like that that make it with rice. There's a couple here in the States that probably do the same. They've explored a lot of options already. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them have already turned back the clock and said no.
Exactly.
There's a company over in Delaware by Dogfish, and he has a certain series called Ancient Ales.
Oh.
And he basically takes those and he basically went to, I don't know if it was Aztecs or Mayans or something like that, but he went down there and they chew corn and they spit it back in, and it makes a certain alcohol from that, and he created a beer off of it. So he had his whole company chewing buckets of corn.
Oh my!
And spitting it back in.
But wouldn't that be a great job?
Yeah. They do it every year, and it's funny because the first time they had a TV show, and they showed it on the TV show, and then every once in a while you'll see it online or something when they come back out with it, and the people just go, "I hate this," because it's chewing corn, the whole day,
And that it'd be interesting to be asked, oh, "What's your job?" I'm a corn chewer. Yeah.
And there's the health.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God!
yeah.
People exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
probably wouldn't happen in the States.
No, it does.
Does it really happens here?
Yeah, no, that's what he did. He had his whole.
Where is this
dogfish,
taking place?
Delaware.
Delaware. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, they did it, and they had everybody make sure they didn't have anything going on or anything, but yeah, everybody spit into it, and then alcohol, once it's
that
boiled
would clean
and stuff
everything
like that,
up, so that's not a problem. Yeah.
And then once it fermented and everything like that.
Sure, that is
pretty
great.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yesterday I heard something very interesting. What are the 5 best-selling beers in the world?
In the world, because there's such major players, obviously Budweiser, and Bud Light. Those are probably in the top 5. And it's not saying that they're great. I think it's just a lot of people are misinformed or like the price of it, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so big they can drop the price.
Yeah.
There's a huge fight over hops nowadays, so hops cost a lot of money, so that's why these guys are $15 a 6-pack or stuff like that. It's a really expensive hobby.
Yeah. I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the best-selling beer in the world is called Snow from China. And China seems to be a huge market now for beer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've heard that name before. That I've seen that statistic that you said, and yeah, it was like Snow and one of the Mexican beers that's down in Brazil or something like that. Yeah, because I think Brazil is a huge capita, so
absolutely,
people down there drink a certain kind too. It's definitely different around the world. I don't know if they've really gotten into what we have here.
Yeah.
When it comes to the flavors, I think we've kind of always been the people that have tested that limit on that. Not to say that they don't make good beer. I've never had a Brazilian beer.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of regular beers from Japan and maybe a couple other beers from other Asian countries. But a lot of them are pretty much what would you say, pea beers?
Yeah,
because they'll break your seal and you'll go that many times and it's like water.
Yeah, exactly,
so,
exactly.
And they're super cheap and everybody drinks them.
Yeah,
and just like Budweiser.
Sure.
They are very. I don't think I've had a Budweiser since high school.
Oh my gosh. God,
so
yeah,
it's been that long. I've always enjoyed Sierra Nevada Pale Ales. That was probably one of my first, and Boston Lager. Sam Adams. Those were kind of
the
gateway.
Your gateway beers.
The gateway beers. Along with the malt liquors, back then. Had to have your little Mickey's 40s and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I think those helped push, and then along came Lost Coast and a couple other places that started pushing the envelope everywhere. We were pretty lucky that California was one of the first places that really kind of started it off like that. The Mendocino Brewery that used to be called New Apollon. They were one of the first deals, which was their beer wasn't that great. They recreated it and it wasn't that good, but it was a start.
Yeah,
it was a start. And all these guys all started in home brewing. They all got books, every one of them. They're all good reads too.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah. I can tell you read a lot about beer.
I do. I got a lot of books.
Yeah. Do you have, if you had choice of doing something that was like maybe a beer drinker's dream, where would you go in the world to try beer, and where would it be?
I'd stay here.
Would you really?
Yeah.
God.
I'd stay here. I mean, this whole coast is, to me, the best. There are other beers in the States that are really good and they stand out alone.
Yeah.
But every time I've tried the East Coast, they don't compare to the West Coast. To me, I mean, some of the East Coast people will be like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about."
Sure.
But I think we're pretty spoiled. San Diego is one of the huge meccas. Sacramento's becoming a huge mecca of beer. Portland, Oregon, all those guys. Seattle, it's just huge. The per capita of beer to people there. It's just within the last year, I think Sacramento's probably had 6 or 7 more breweries pop up.
Oh my.
Yeah. So
Yes,
we're
your
very
charming
lucky.
wife keeps me
Informed.
kind of exactly and up to date on the
Yeah,
newest
you're
breweries.
getting
Yeah.
one right around the corner.
Yeah,
Right.
that's.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah, they're everywhere now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Hoppy's been here forever.
Yeah. Do you ever go there?
Not as much. My friend used to work there, so I'd go in there just to visit with him.
Mm-hmm.
Never really been there. I don't really like their food as much.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Their food's not so great. Their beers are average. I don't. He does. The guy that I knew that worked there, he was one of the guys that helped make the beer, and they made like a cucumber saison beer. So they make all kinds of crazy things.
Sure.
They also have a beer that they bring out every Christmas. That's just really good, and that in its own self, on seasons, is its own thing too.
Sure.
So Christmas has its own type of beers. Everything tastes like Christmas trees,
right?
chai, spice, tea,
ornaments,
stuff. Ornaments and stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good different things, and then
Sure.
fall they have the pumpkin. Nut beers and stuff like that. Those
I know
really
there's summer ales and
there's summer ales and there's spring ales and
wow.
winter ales. Winter ales are usually stouts and barley wines.
Yeah.
Keep your blood warm.
Sure. With all the crops that we grow in California, even with our water shortage, we still
find ways.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But why can't we grow more hops?
Sacramento used to be a hop city.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they used to be. The only people that we see growing hops in this area now is Roostaller, which that name was from one of the original breweries in Sacramento called Buffalo. And now I think there's even a brewery coming out called Buffalo. Maybe they bought the name or something. But yeah, there's they have a little tiny space out there past Davis.
Oh, okay.
If you ever, when you're going past Davis, if you look to the right before, what's that city right after them?
North Woodland?
No, not Woodland. On the freeway off of 50.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
How
if
we
you
don't know our area of California.
we got a map.
Oh, yeah. Look at it. We have Brazil right there.
No, they have a little hop area out there.
Sure.
That
Okay.
they grow their own hops,
Yeah.
and Sierra Nevada, they have a giant acreage of hops, so they grow it right next to the facility.
If they're needed and the price is top price for hops, why don't more people plant hops?
Probably takes a lot of water.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Willamette Valley, and Oregon, all those guys way up there, they are doing it really good because they get a lot of rain.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah.
You can grow hops though pretty easy.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I want to.
I love to see them climbing.
Yes,
it's
they're
beautiful.
very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very
And
beautiful.
the smell is pretty interesting too.
Yeah, they're pretty close cousins to the other stuff.
Yes, which will appear in beer any day now.
Yeah. Oh, they have it already.
Oh,
probably.
do they?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure there is. With Colorado, Colorado's another mecca of beer.
Yeah, I'll say.
My brother lives there, and he is becoming. He's trying to be. I showed him that he can get his. Oh man, I'm drawing blanks now.
Oh, that's right.
Basically, his
license or certificate for.
Yeah, it's a license. What's the word? Consigliere. Oh my gosh.
Brewmaster or something.
There's a certificate. Yeah. There's 2 certificates you can get, and you have to study really good for them. You have to know your flavor profiles. You have to know certain things, and he's working on that, and he's in the food industry right now. And so him coming from here, knowing the beers from here, helps him in Colorado because Colorado is flooded with Colorado beers, and they make. Like they're still considered West Coast.
Of course, exactly. It's the West.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they count on that too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I have to put in a little plug for Montana because every time I go to Montana, which is yearly, new breweries and actually distilleries as well. Yeah. But that state
we don't see those here.
Yeah, I am too. Moving ahead. And you mentioned Oregon. We both have kind of brew shirts on this morning, but this one, I'm going to just stand up a little bit and see. This is McMiniman's from Raleigh Hills Pub.
McMiniman's is huge up there.
I gotta say, it's one of my favorite beers. That ruby red is just,
Is it ruby as in like a pomegranate, or Is it more like a ruby grapefruit?
I think it's more like a ruby grapefruit. Oh, it's just.
Yeah, fruit brings out a lot of flavors in beer.
Yeah.
It does. Like this grapefruit Scopen that we're talking about, the flavor of that is just ridiculously good. It's 18, 17, 16.99 a 6-pack.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you're you'd be like, you go to the pub, you pay $7-8 for a beer off the tap, or you can pay it out of the bottle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're putting in their work. That's for sure.
Well, Mike Mantle, thank you so much for being here on the Essence, and
Thank you.
Salud.
Salud. Mabuhay. Mabuhay is Tagalog for cheers.
Oh wow. That Tagalog?
Yeah, Filipino.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you try to learn it all.